Hi, welcome to Movie Theater. I'm gonna show you a 1990 cult classic romance film called Ghost. This film tells the story of Molly and her boyfriend Sam, with the help of Sam's friend and his coworker Carl, renovate and move into an apartment in Manhattan. Sam's a banker, and when the apartment is ready to be lived in, Molly's an artist and puts her works inside. At night, they lie together silently, Molly gazing at him while Sam feels worried about something. It seems that whenever something good happens to him, he's afraid he'll lose it. Unable to sleep, she decides to make an urn accompanied by her favorite song, Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. Suddenly, Sam wakes up and approaches her. He tries to flirt but fails as she's too focused on her work. But then he takes her hand and starts flirting with her, changing the atmosphere into a romantic feel. They kiss and make love while Unchained Melody still plays on. One afternoon, Sam stumbled upon some unusually high balances in obscure bank accounts and confided in Carl. He offered his help, but Sam chose to investigate the matter himself. Before leaving, Carl asked him what his plan was for that night. Sam replied he was going to the theater with Molly. As they walked down a dark street after the cinema, the conversation became serious. Molly said she wanted to marry him, and Sam was stunned. Just then a mugger emerged from the shadows behind them. Molly gasped as he pointed a gun at Sam and demanded his wallet. The mugger hit Molly and Sam fought back. Eventually, he ran off and Sam gave chase. Suddenly, he stopped running and started walking back towards Molly. He saw himself dead in her lap as she begged for help and cried. Realizing what had happened, Sam turned away from a brilliant white light coming from the sky that seemed to be inviting him and walked towards Molly instead. The next morning, at Sam's funeral, Molly was still in tears, unable to accept that she had just lost him. She can't focus on her job as all she thinks about is Sam from the other side. Sam stares at her, wondering if he's really there, but she doesn't even hear him. Molly and Carl are standing nearby packing up Sam's things into boxes when Molly pulls out a box of his memories. He asks her to go for a walk, but she refuses until Carl says something insensitive about Sam's death and she slaps him. He apologizes and they decide to go out for a walk. Sam runs after them, looking jealous. Suddenly, a mugger enters Molly's apartment with a key. Sam is shocked as he recognizes the man who killed him. He tries to attack him but can't. It seems that the mugger is looking for something. Meanwhile, Molly returns home and starts to take a bath. To protect her, Sam scares his cat, which screeches and jumps on the mugger's face, causing him to flee quickly. The curious Sam decides to follow him and discovers that his name is Willie Lopez. He calls someone and tells them that he couldn't get it because Molly was at home. Sam stares in wild confusion as he screams, "Stay away from her." After leaving Willie's apartment, Sam visits a spiritual advisor, Oda Mae Brown. Oda Mae is a charlatan pretending to commune with spirits of the dead, but when she hears Sam talking to her, she is shocked to discover her true psychic gift like her grandmother. Though she can't see him, Sam begs for help and threatens to bother her forever if she won't warn his girlfriend Molly that she is in danger. Oda Mae calls Molly and begins to tell her about the message from Sam, but Molly hangs up the phone. The next day Oda Mae comes to Molly's apartment and pleads for a chance to talk with her, but Molly ignores her. To prove that it's really Sam speaking through Oda Mae, she relays information only he would know and finally manages to get inside. As she starts explaining why she came there, Sam tells Oda Mae to say, "Ditto," which makes Molly suspicious and decides to run away. Molly warns her if she's in danger and starts to tell her about the man who killed Sam, Willie Lopez. Through Oda Mae, Sam gives the information regarding Willie's address, including their apartment key. He was in their apartment and the ghost Sam pursues Molly to report this to the police. Also, it turns out that Willie wasn't acting alone and it was a setup. Molly later tells everything to Carl, who finds it hard to believe. Eventually, he decides to help her by finding out who is Willie Lopez. Carl goes out and Sam follows him. Apparently he is trying to find out as he approaches Willie's door apartment and talk like they know each other well. Now he knows that Carl and Willie are working together, which thrills Sam as he can't even expect his good friend has planned his murder just for money. It proves that Carl is laundering money for drug dealers and had Willie rob Sam to find out the password. Uncontrollably furious, Sam hauls back and slugs Carl with all his might but fails. The next day Molly reports everything about Willie Lopez to the police, though it's difficult for them to believe what she has already said about Sam's ghost. Oda Mae begged the police officer to find out about Willie Lopez's file, but instead he handed her a file about Oda Mae, which revealed she had been arrested for fraud, numbers racketeering and had even been jailed. He said Oda Mae was a charlatan and Molly didn't believe him. Meanwhile, Carl silently entered Molly's apartment and got the code to open an account. He then transferred the money into one account under a false name, Rita Miller. At night, Carl visited Molly to apologize for not listening earlier. He asked for a cup of coffee and they drank together while Sam watched them with anger. Suddenly, Carl spilled his coffee and took off his shirt. Molly told him that Oda Mae was such a liar. Why would people do such things? As he tried to get closer to her, Sam attacked him. It didn't work, but he made a move by knocking over their photo onto the floor. Molly realized she couldn't do it. Willie comes to find Oda Mae and Sam, forcing her to flee quickly. Sam assists her in escaping the predicament, and later on, Oda Mae meets Lyle, a banker who is a friend of Sam's. He enlists her to help him outwit Carl by pretending to be Rita Miller and close the account. When the account is being examined, Oda Mae is taken aback to discover there is $4 million in it. As Lyle returns and requests her signature, he hands her the check. Just then, Molly enters the bank and heads towards them. Sam quickly moves over to Molly to stop her and urges Oda Mae to act fast. Molly spots her and starts chasing after her. She then makes sure by asking Oda Mae's name, but Lyle responds with Rita Miller. Molly stares at him uncertainly as Carl sits in front of his computer going crazy, hitting keys on the keyboard but getting the same response again and again. If Rita Miller's account has been closed, Sam and Oda Mae are walking down the street while she talks about what she wants to do with the money. Sam pleads with her to donate it for the homeless. At first she refuses but eventually gives in reluctantly. Suddenly, Carl arrives at Molly's apartment. He doesn't look too good and Sam is with them. He says he had some issues at the office. He then inquires about Oda Mae, making her stare at Carl. She reveals, "Does this have anything to do with her being at the bank today? Lyle said she was withdrawing money." It turns out her name isn't even Oda Mae Brown. It's Rita Miller. Oda Mae is with her sisters when suddenly she notices Sam's presence in the room and tells them to run away as they will come to kill them. They quickly hide in a neighbor's room while Willie and Carl force open the door and enter Oda Mae's apartment, guns ready to fire. Furious that no one is there, they close the door and letters start appearing in the mirror saying, "Boo." Terrified, he runs out of the apartment with Sam hot on his heels. He madly dashes into the street and gets hit by a bus, dying instantly. Carl stands in the crowd watching Willie die before turning around and running away. Oda Mae immediately heads to Molly's apartment to warn her if she is in danger. However, Molly doesn't let her in because she thinks she is a fake. Sam then comes inside with Molly and calls back for Oda Mae to tell her she's wearing a blouse from him. Molly hesitates for a long moment before letting Oda Mae in, and Sam can't touch her. He says he'd give anything to be alive again just to feel her once more. So Oda Mae allows Sam to possess her body so they can hug tightly like they used to. Suddenly, Carl breaks into the apartment, and Oda Mae and Molly run for the fire escape window. As they climb, Carl grabs Oda Mae and starts strangling her neck, demanding where the check is. He points a gun at her as if about to fire when something shoves him to the floor. Carl screams and jumps back as Sam takes his gun and scares him away, trying to escape through a window. Carl throws a suspended hook at Sam but it swings back, shattering the window and killing him with glass shards. Then, a brilliant light glows in the skylight, flooding the room with a haze. Sam turns around with surprise and wonder as he sees spirits beyond the ceiling beckoning him. His body starts fading away as he leans down toward Molly, who is now able to see him before he kisses her one last time. After thanking Oda Mae for her help, Sam walks into the light, going where he's supposed to be. Hit the like button if you have enjoyed watching this video and don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos. Thanks for watching.